Welcome back, guys. In this section of the course, we will going to study the concept of TCP window resizing. So this section is not a new section altogether, but it is a follow-up section of the previous section. Because the previous section was going too long, therefore I have split it up this entire topic of window management and flow control into two sections. So let us start with TCP window resizing. So we will discuss what is TCP window resizing, why it is required, and what problem does it solve. We will also discuss in detail the mechanism behind TCP window resizing. So let us start. So TCP is an adaptive protocol. When I say TCP is an adaptive protocol, it simply means that it responds to network or recipient state dynamically. Now, what do you mean by the network or recipient state? So TCP peers slow down the rate of data exchange if network is busy or if the peers are slow consumers of data. Right? So it simply means that TCP protocol is intelligent enough to detect how busy is the network or how slow is the peer TCP on the other side in relation to consuming the TCP data. So TCP protocol controls the rate of data exchange by resizing the send and receive windows. Smaller the size of send and receive windows of TCP sender and TCP receiver, lesser will be the rate of data exchange between the TCP peers. Contrary to this, bigger is the size of send window and receive window of TCP peers, faster will be the rate of data exchange between the TCP peers. So this thing is very simple and straightforward. Larger is the size of TCP send and receive window. It means that the TCP sender can inject more number of data segments into the network. While at the same time, completely opposite happens if the TCP send and receive windows are of smaller sizes. So as stated earlier, the two entities which influences the rate of communication between TCP peers are the recipient capability. That is how fast the recipient can consume data that is arriving at the recipient side. And the second entity which influences the rate of communication between the TCP peers is the network capacity. That is, what is the bandwidth of the network? Is the network congested? How many other machines are actually communicating on the existing network? So simply put together, how fast the TCP sender and TCP receiver can carry out data exchange depends on the recipient capability and the network capacity. In this section of the course, we will going to discuss in detail about how recipient capabilities influences the rate of communication. Whereas in the last section of the course, we will going to focus on the network capacity or capabilities which influences the rate of communication between TCP peers. So now let us discuss in detail what happens if the recipient rate of consumption of data is slower than the rate at which the TCP data arrives at the recipient machine.